Good afternoon. The Sacramento City Council will please come to order. Would the clerk call the roll to establish a quorum?
Thank you. Councilmember Kaplan.
Here.
Councilmember Tao. Here. Mayor Pro Tem Talamantes.
Here.
Vice Mayor Maple.
Here.
Councilmember Guerra.
Here.
Councilmember Jennings.
Here.
Councilmember Vang.
Here.
And Mayor Steinberg.
I am here. Councilmember Vang, would you please lead us in the land acknowledgement? Councilmember Jennings, would you lead us in the Pledge of Allegiance?
Yes. Please rise if you're able. To the original people of this land, the Nisenan people, the Southern Maidu, Valley, and Plains Miwok, Patwin and Wintu peoples, and the people of Wilton Rancheria, Sacramento's only federally recognized tribe. May we acknowledge and honor the Native people who came before us and still walk beside us today on these ancestral lands by choosing to gather today in the active practice of acknowledgement and appreciation for Sacramento's indigenous peoples, history, contribution, and lives. Thank you.
Salute. Pledge. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Well, a very good afternoon to everyone, to members of the city staff, my colleagues, members of the public. I would like to announce 7 new initiatives. I might this afternoon. Kidding.
Mr. Mayor.
Oh, Councilman Guerra, yes, please.
I'm glad we just took roll call because I'd like the Sacramento historians to record that I think Councilmember Chantal will be the only council member in council member history with 100% perfect attendance. And
that's it. Showing up. Yep.
100%.
That's right. And not only showed up, but showed up in the right way. So, way to go. Thank you, Councilman Guerra. That's a great start to the meeting. We begin the meeting with another very special presentation here. And I get the honor of this presentation, and that is to present a resolution to honor our Senator, Angelique Ashby, for advocacy and achievement. Would you come up, please, Senator Ashby? You have a lot of supporters here in the audience on this dais, and maybe most importantly, among the people of Sacramento. Because this resolution is to recognize and to never take for granted the fact that we have a champion at the state senate for the city of Sacramento. And even though your work and your responsibility now is different and of statewide scope, among the things that makes you so important and so special is that your work comes from your heart and from your love for the people of Sacramento. The way you have fought, and yes, sometimes fought, when it's right and appropriate for the things that you care about, for the things that matter to your district and to your city, for people who sometimes are taken advantage of in the wrong ways. We can always count on Angelique Ashby to not only represent everybody with high intellect, with an incredible work ethic, but to also fight for the things that matter the most. And as for me personally, as you know, we have had, and you talked a little bit about this last week, we have had a journey together. And it is a journey that began with us running against one another in a political election. Sometimes, well, I'll leave it at that. And developed into a partnership, a political partnership, and more important, a friendship. And I know that among the big things we've been able to do even over these last couple of years that could not have done it without you, your counsel, and your direct intervention at some points in time when things mattered at the state level. So this is just a small way of us saying to you that we see you, We appreciate you. We admire you, and we're grateful for all you have done, but maybe more importantly, for what you're going to continue to do for the people of Sacramento and for the state of California. Angelique. And I know we have some other colleagues that want to express their thanks as well before I get to present to you. And I don't, I don't read the resolution. I could read it. I mean, it is, because it is long and it is detailed. Maybe at the end I'll go through some of the highlights. Go ahead, Vice Mayor Maple.
Thank you, Mayor. I couldn't miss the opportunity to say a few kind words about my friend and mentor, Angelique Ashby. You said it so well, so I'm not going to build on that. But one thing I did want to point out, and I think a lot of us in this room already know this, in addition to all of the accolades, all the things that you do in your day-to-day work, not just in your role as senator, but in your role as a community member, the ways that you step up and show up, you're a mentor. You really help so many young people, and especially young women in this city, find their voice and find their place, and I'm one of them. I count myself among many. And I'm so grateful for your leadership, because you realize that it's not just about the work that you do while you're in office to get resources for the region, to set people up for success, set our staff up for success, but also how do you build a bench behind you of people that can come on and continue that work. And so I'm really, really proud and grateful to be a part of that, and just want to say thank you. Thank you for everything that you do. Appreciate you.
Beautiful. Mayor Pro Tem, former Chief of Staff, Talamantes.
Senator Angelique V. Ashby. You added the V now in your new Senate
Just
term.
in case there's another Angelique Ashby.
Just in case. And when I saw that, I'm like, okay, I love it. It's a new you and a new day for the Sacramento region, because I know how hard you work, how hard you fight, and how you're constantly trying to lift people up behind you. And you're the reason why a lot of us up here were elected. You helped mentor us, helped uplift us, and were there for us in the toughest times. Like the mayor said, you're just a leader of the Sacramento region, and I'm just so grateful to have you in my life, and thankful for all you've done for Natomas, for our Sacramento region. And like the mayor said, I've spent 6.5 years here at City Hall now, and the first 4 or 5, or 5 of them were with you. And now I'm here as a council member, and I am just so grateful for you. And I am keeping the tradition alive. I did win the door decorating contest last year for City Hall. And it's not happening this year, so I am 2-time winner of the door decorating contest. So following your footsteps.
Very proud. Very proud of you.
Thank you. Councilmember Vang.
Thank you, Mayor. Senator Ashby, thank you so much for paving the way for so many of us. I echo Mayor Pro Tem Talamantes and Vice Mayor Maple on the comments they've made. And I just also want to remind folks that for a long time, you were actually the only sitting woman city council member. And I know how lonely that must have been for you, but you stood your ground and you fought for so many of us. And now we had a majority woman council. We won't be majority anymore, but we still got strong 4 amazing women leaders here on the dais, but really a big part of the makeup of this dais is because of you and your leadership and your mentorship. I also just want to say thank you for fighting for Natomas, but not just Natomas. You're a fighter also for South Sacramento. And I know there's so many neighborhood folks, so many babies, so many families that love you in South Sacramento because you just don't fight for one part of the city, but you're fighting for the entire region. And you're fighting hard for those that have been left behind. So I just want to say thank you so much for your leadership. And we look forward to continue working with you. And thank you for everything that you've done in your short time as a state senator. And so looking forward to all the great things that you're going to continue to do for this region. And thank you so much for your mentorship.
Thank you. Councilmember Jennings.
Thank you, Mayor. I just want to let you know that I can't say thank you enough for all the things that you've done for me. Helping me as a new council member 10 years ago to come in and learn how to do the right things and how to make sure not to do the wrong things. You've always been a friend that has been by my side. I call you a friend indeed that you can always count on, and I appreciate that. You are a mother, you are a wife, former city council member, state senator, and I think what we forgot to do was bring the cape, because all of that adds up to being a superwoman. And that's really what you are. All of us who look up to you, who are proud of you, who count on you, who need you. And so keep doing what you're doing. We'll make sure to get the cape for you so everyone knows.
Thank you, Rick. Councilmember Tao?
Thank you, Mayor. Just want to echo my colleagues, and as a staffer, I watched you on the dais, and you are definitely not just a champion for Natomas, but for all of Sacramento, especially North Sacramento. Hands down, North Sac Hagenwood Library. That's all thanks to you. The $2 million to our parks right before you left in the Senate, that was all because of your advocacy on the dais for North Sacramento, which you didn't represent, but you represented it with North Natomas. And so I thank you for your championing these causes for neighborhoods in Sacramento, not just Natomas. And you've been a great role model, and I've been watching you on the as a staffer on the dais and now at the Senate too. So Senator Ashby, thank you so much.
Councilman Tao. Councilmember Kaplan.
Thanks, Mayor. Hi, Senator. So let's be real. You and I have not often been on the same side. But I see this over the past 2 years, us moms coming together and fighting for what's right. And so you have always fought. I, in my own way, have fought for the kids. You've fought for the city. Now you get to fight for the region. I am a partner. We are together in this. We as a city are better when we are together and fighting for the same cause, and I know that's where we're going to be. I look forward to your continued leadership. And somebody tried to sneak him back, but we also have the support of Senator Cabaldon. So this is not just a little thing, but our newly elected West Sacramento senator is here supporting as well, which says a lot about who you are as a leader for the region. And here's the thing, we're gonna get some stuff done. You've already shown that. You've brought millions to this region. Millions more is going to come in. So we are on your side to fight for whatever you need. We're just a phone call away. So I look forward to all that you're going to do, not for our region, but for the state. So thank you.
Let me add my welcome to Senator Cabaldon as well. This is going to be a dynamic duo in the state Senate. Watch out, Los Angeles. Okay? Welcome, Christopher. Councilmember Guerra.
Thank you, Mayor. It's been said over and over again. I've watched you as a fighter from when you ran your first campaign, and back then I think we were all eligible for the College of Democrats, and for your endorsements. And it's continued, even watching you in the legislative sessions here, to continue to fight, whether the cards were on the table to win or not, but you continued regardless, and for those who needed the help the most. But most importantly, I think it was an urgency to get this resolution here today, because if not, we'd need 2 pages for that resolution of lists instead of being able to get it on one picture frame. Congratulations, and thank you again for your commitment to Sacramento.
Thanks, sir.
The city clerk reminds me that it actually did start as 4 pages. So this is true. But here's the thing: the fight and the passion. It has delivered huge results for the city of Sacramento, and at the legislature, it's delivering huge results. When I look at the long list, actually, in a short period of time, of things that you have accomplished, from the Human Trafficking Detection Act to the Emergency Medical Services Reimbursement Act, the Fostering Futures, which, by the way, was the only budget allocation in a very tough budget year for Senator Ashby's proposal to help further the education of foster youth, a big deal, and so much more. Just can't wait to watch you continue to achieve and rise and all the rest of it. What a great moment. Thank you, Angelique. It's all yours.
All right.
Okay.
Well, thank you. It's harder than you might think to just stand in one spot and receive all of that. So I appreciate you all so very much. And I can't tell you how many times I texted the mayor and the city manager to say, this is not necessary. We don't have to do this. Please don't feel like you have to do this. It's okay. But it's very gracious of you and kind. And I do have a few things I'd like to say. But first, nobody does these jobs alone. That list, 4 pages, is not the deed list of one woman. It is the working product of a team of individuals, some who are out in the community who are very supportive and help me make sure that people out there know what we're working hard on and that I care about them, and some inside of the building. And I would love for those who are here with me today to stand up in the audience, all of you. All of you that are with me, stand up. They deserve as much credit as I do, and this team over here that represents the Senate District 8 team and those who have come before them on the Senate District 8 team are every bit a part of each one of those victories as I am. They go in and they fight for you and they fight for this city just the same as I do. Thanks for standing up. Thanks for being here, you guys. You can sit down if you'd like. The other thing I want to say to all of you is there's no way to walk into a new environment like that. Some of you know this well. I know Karina knows this well. I don't come from the Capitol, so it's brand new to me. And, walking in, it can be a little intimidating. There's so much to figure out and so much history. It's so storied. And I get a lot of credit for my committee assignments and for getting $175 million worth of stuff to this city. And I have a not at all secret weapon, and he's sitting in the middle of your dais. And it's not a secret that when I learned that former pro tems have floor rights and can return to the floor anytime they want, that I immediately started calling on him to show up as often as possible, especially when I needed help glaring at people on the Senate floor. And he has obliged. And I appreciate you so much. The reason why the Fostering Youth Project, which, by the way, pays for foster youth in the state of California to go to college debt-free, pays for everything, their housing, their tuition, their books. And it was the only new ongoing funding item in the last 2 years in the budget cycle. But the reason that happened isn't because I got there and within 2 months figured out how to embed something in the budget. It's because Mayor Steinberg taught me how to embed something in the budget as soon as I walked through the door, and that worked. And that's how only one legislator got a new ongoing item, because one legislator had a pro tem whispering in their ear to explain to them how to get it done. I also did not fill out my document for committee assignments. I deserve no credit for the committee assignments. In fact, the committee assignments I thought I should pick were dead wrong. Mayor Steinberg filled out the form for me, and I signed my name at the bottom and submitted it. And then everyone said, how did you get all these committees? I don't know. Daryl filled out the form. So every time I'm at Judish until 9 o'clock at night, I text him, thanks for putting me on Judish, Mayor. Bring me some food. So it's a team, is what I'm telling you. It's really about the relationships. And Councilmember Guerra works in that building, but I can tell you, and my team can tell you, how much time we spend with him. We ask him to come down all the time. We ask him for advice. He knows that building really, really well. He's been there a long time. He is a beloved member of the Senate, and he has supported us so much. So, Eric, I personally thank you in particular for just keeping an eye on us and coming down and explaining things to us and helping my team. I know they all appreciate you so much, and we're really grateful to have your friendship in that building too. It's made a huge difference in my first 2 years. And so for all of you, my advice to you, whether you're sitting at this dais in one of these seats, or you head across the street to the county, or you come over and join me in the Capitol, or maybe one of you hopefully will replace me in the Capitol at some time, or you move to that center seat and replace a mayor, just know that it is all about the relationships. If I didn't have the relationship with the city manager that we have, that list of $175 million would not be $175 million. I'm able to, I'm fighting right now for you for an I Street bridge. And Christopher Cobalden is about to enter the ring to help me, so these people are not going to know what hit them. But I can't tell you how many times I've called Ryan Moore. And I can call Ryan Moore because I know that your city manager will be okay with me calling Ryan Moore. I don't have to go through a whole chain like other cities do, like other legislators do. When some of you come to me with bill ideas, I'm able to reach out directly to the police department or to the fire department, who is also here, and I'm able to talk to them. It makes such a difference. There are other senators who cannot do that, and therefore we're quicker than them, which means we can get to the resources faster, which means we can make our case. On the longest, hardest day of the legislature so far, it was one of those days that started very early in the morning and went until midnight. And what I will tell you about your senator is Mayor Steinberg started there in the morning, came in, was there for the beginning of the day for part of the celebration, helped me honor an outgoing, very important member of the Senate team, a lady named Bernie. And at midnight, the end of that meeting, City Manager Chan was there underneath the dome checking on me to make sure I was okay. And both of them checked in throughout the day. You go find me another senator who has that kind of love and support and partnerships in their community. And if you find me one, then they too will also have a 4-page list of their accomplishments in 2 years, because that's how it works. And I'm very humbled, very honored, very grateful to get to be the senator for the city of Sacramento and for Elk Grove and Rio Linda and Alberta. And there are many elected officials behind me, 2 people who will be sworn in next week who are also mentees of mine who I'm really proud of. Deanna Reed, who will join the Rio Linda Alberta Parks Board in a few days here. I get to swear her in. Trained in the City of Sacramento's Parks Division, by the way. And Sumiti Mehta, who will join the Natomas Unified School Board as their newest trustee and the first Indian woman elected to a seat in the City of Sacramento. I'm extraordinarily proud of all of them and of all of you. And to the 3 young women on this dais who I have helped in any way, I want you to know I'm very proud of you, all 3 of you. You don't have to vote a certain way. You don't owe anybody anything other than a loyalty to your district and staying true to your heart and what you came here to do. And you're all 3 so different. You all 3 represent very different communities. You have very different backgrounds, but each of you had a place on this dais long before you ever put your name on the ballot. And it makes me very proud to see you sitting up here, owning the space that you sit in. And I hope that every day that you come here, you recognize how lucky you are to get to represent 500,000 people in this city, along with other amazing stewards of Sacramento's resources. Consider me a partner always, and thank you so much for honoring me today, Mayor. I'm very grateful.
All right, 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. Hey, Rosanna. Congratulations.
All right, we now have a wonderful retirement celebration presented by Councilmember Rick Jennings. Rick?
Okay, Mayor, I'm going to talk a little bit while the room clears. But we just honored an incredible champion and we're getting ready to do another honor of a champion who is right here in City Hall and has been here at City Hall for the last 26 years. This is honoring David Adrozlin on the occasion of his retirement, which I have tried my best to talk him out of, but I've had no success. And so I just have to go along with it. And I just want to acknowledge his family who is here with him. His family is on the road with him, and want to give them a round of applause, if I can. Please. I don't have enough time, David, to speak to all the things that you've done in this city, what you've done for each one of the districts here. It's 26 years is a long time, so I don't have time to do that. But what I do have time to do is to provide you with a resolution that speaks to that. And what I'm hoping is that you'll open your doors up in your home to let everybody come and see this incredible resolution. So I want to just read a few lines of it just to make sure that people know the impact that you've made on the city of Sacramento all the way since 1998. So, honoring, whereas David attended San Jose State University from August 1991 to 1998, earning a master's degree in civil engineering and becoming a registered civil engineer through the California Board of Registered Engineers, also obtaining a traffic engineering license as well, where he began his distinguished career in public service with the city of Sacramento in August of 1998, serving as a supervising and senior engineer for over 2 decades, implementing numerous roadway improvements to enhance operation safety, equitable transportation access, and whereas David became the interim traffic engineer and division manager in June of 2019 and officially assumed the role in October of 2020, overseeing all transportation matters, including private development, planning roadways, operations, and maintaining 40,000 streetlights and 850 traffic signals. Now I'm going to start not giving the whole paragraph, but just a sentence or two. Whereas during his tenure, he prioritized equitable access to safe and sustainable transportation options for all residents. David made significant contributions to the city's Vision Zero action plan, established in August of 2018, by leading efforts to reduce traffic fatalities and serious injuries, focusing on vulnerable road users. His work included updating pedestrian crossing guidelines, reviewing top priority corridor projects, securing grants, and implementing speed reductions in school zones and other safety initiatives. Whereas he led a critical safety program, including the Medium Island Safety Program, Speed Lump Program, and Traffic Signal Program. And the reason I'm saying all this is because it's so important to understand the impact that you made to create a safer Sacramento so kids could go to school, seniors could cross the street, and people like me can ride our bikes and feel like we are safe in riding our bikes and going through the roadways. So I just want to let people know the impact that you made in doing all these things. David's career exemplifies a commitment to public safety, transportation, equity, and improving Sacramento's residents' quality of life through innovative and inclusive solutions. Therefore, let it be resolved by the mayor and this city council of the city of Sacramento that we do hereby recognize you and express our sincere gratitude for your outstanding service, leadership, and congratulations on a successful career here in the city of Sacramento. Wish you the very best on your well-earned retirement. With that, let's give him a big round of applause. So David, I should have probably had you come up to the mic, right? But I know you're a quiet man, and you don't really necessarily like all this attention. I know that. But now I'll bring you to the mic so you can tell us what you think about all of this.
Keep it coming. I like it. I like it.
If we can just, before we turn over to the mic, we
Okay.
do have a couple colleagues that also want to
Gotcha.
say something. So if you could
Yeah,
stand in the
there.
limelight, take it in, David. Take it in. Let me begin with Mayor Pro Tem.
David, when I was in second grade, someone asked me like if I could have any superpower, what it would be. And I think I answered that I would control all the streetlights in the world so I can make people's good day or bad days. And I can control kind of flow of traffic. And I just thought it was really fascinating. So when I got here to City Hall 6 years ago, I was doing a briefing and you were telling me all the work that you do, and I thought, wow, that was the dream that I had back in second grade. And the amount of traffic studies that you do and all the work that you do, I have just have loved getting to know you as a person. And when I saw that you were retiring a few weeks ago, I called you immediately. And I went straight to voicemail. And then I texted you and said, please don't retire. And you said, my wife retired, I'm gonna go to Greece, I'm gonna go vacation, and I deserve it. And I'm like, amen, you do. And you are just an incredible human being, such a hard worker, and I'm just gonna miss calling you for every single street light and every single thing, because I know that when I call you or when I email you, when I contact you, you always come back with a solution. Sometimes it doesn't work, sometimes it does work, but you always look into it and just make me feel so heard and my community so heard. So thank you so much for your service to the city of Sacramento, and I hope you enjoy your vacation.
Thank you.
Thank you, Mayor Pro Tem. Vice Mayor?
Thank you, Mayor. I just want to start out by saying we haven't known each other for a long time, because I haven't been here a long time, but you have. You've been at the city for 26 years. And I know there were a lot of accolades, all the work that you've done over those 2+ decades. But I just want to bring up a really specific example, and the one that impacted me in my district when I first came on board. So I represent the Oak Park area. And before being elected, there was quite an uproar in the community, because right where Broadway turns around a corner where MLK hits, there is a senior housing building. And because of the speed at which people travel on Broadway and the angle of that curve, I think there had been at least 2 vehicles that had hit that building in a very short period of time, including at least 1 fatality and many other accidents in the years leading up to that. And so it was a major area of concern for the community. And I came in and didn't know anything then and still know nothing compared to you about traffic or how the roadways are designed. But I came to you with a problem and you came to me with a solution. And I just really appreciate that about you. It wasn't all the things that we couldn't do, because certainly sometimes that's what we face with and challenges when it comes to policy. You have very much an attitude of how to get to yes and how to find the solution that works for the community. And what resulted was a fast solution that has worked incredibly well. And has gone from me receiving hundreds of calls a week to 0 about this intersection. But it's not about me, it's about the safety of the community. And so if that's just one example, I'm sure there are hundreds or thousands of other examples where you've come up with solutions that have made an impact on real people's lives over the decades that you've been in service. So I just want to thank you for all the time that you've spent at the city of Sacramento for your service. And I'm wishing you the best in your retirement. Thank you.
Thank you. Councilmember Vang?
Yes, I just wanted to take this moment to echo my colleagues and thank you, David, for your many years of service to the community. And congratulations on your retirement. But there's only one way to leave City Hall and make sure that it's fashionable. So Councilmember Jennings has a street sign with your name on it so that you could keep that at home.
So nice.
So proud. Congratulations on your retirement. Thank you so much for your many years of service to the city.
So,
Thank you.
So I just want to say, because it's the mayor of the city, that there are quiet heroes and heroines of the public service, right? The people who do not look for the limelight, but who make the light. Little attempt at eloquence that fell flat, but it wasn't even a dad joke. It was. I meant that thank you for leading on something that is so basic to the public welfare and the public safety that maybe we too often take it for granted, but you remind us it's important never to take it for granted. Congratulations, David.
Thank you.
Thank you. You have it. You're doing this, Mr. Jennings.
James has a 10-minute speech.
Oh, you got the speech. You go right ahead. Sorry. Yes.
Thank you all for your kind words. I appreciate it. It just seems like yesterday I was starting my career. But I've had a memorable time over the last 25 years working for the city, and we've accomplished a lot. However, I like to acknowledge that we could not have gotten this far without the leadership of Howard Chan, Hector Barone, Ryan Moore, Matt, Lucinda, and others. It's with their leadership that we've been able to accomplish things. And I wish I could take the credit for everything that was mentioned, but that is not the case. Public Works is just blessed with many, many fantastic workers, very intelligent, hard workers. You know, I've collaborated with folks over the years, whether it's in traffic engineering, engineering services, streets, all over. They're just fantastic to work with, can-do attitudes. I've been blessed to be able to work with other folks, a lot of them in the city attorney's office, who have helped me and the city resolve various issues. So I've been blessed to work with everyone here at the city. Lastly, I'd like to thank my family who supported me every day over the years. I come from a very, very humble background. Today I'm joined by my 2 sisters and my brother and sister-in-law, and they've just been a support for all these years. And then I'd like to acknowledge my wife of 40 years, man. She's put up with me. As well as my 3 children, my son over here, Garrick, and then I have a daughter in San Francisco and a son in Chicago who couldn't make it. But without my wife, my immediate family, and all the public works assistants, I could not have gotten this far. So thank you for your kind words. Good? Okay. Oh my gosh.
Yes.
Sure.
Yeah, you're good. What does it go first? All right. You're good? One more. And then your wife's phone. All right. 1, 2, 3. Got it. Thank you so much. Appreciate it.
Well, I now get the honor of asking Lieutenant Matthew McPhail to leave his post for just a moment. As we have, thank you, yeah. I have the opportunity in my last meeting here to honor Lieutenant McPhail on his promotion to lieutenant. Now, everyone who gets promoted deserves this kind of recognition, but we don't always do that. But this is a special case because looking at, of course, your record, you've been a police officer since December of 2005, promoted to sergeant in 2017, an integral part of various units, patrol, district pop, bike team, the list goes on and on. Recognized for bravery and dedication, the Bronze Medal of Valor in 2011, being named Employee of the Quarter in 2 different years, 2014 and 2021. All that is really important and meaningful, and maybe most meaningful to the community and the department. But what adds to that for us and for me personally is your role as the Sergeant at Arms for the City Council for the past 2.5 years. Now that may seem like whatever. That ain't whatever. We are living in an environment. Well, let's just say things get hot in the council chambers. And there is, of course, a line between assertive, even aggressive advocacy and expressing one's opinion and even anger to public officials. And then there's the other side of the line, where people act in ways that disrupt the ability for others to participate. And Lieutenant McPhail, through a number of these instances, and you know we have had them in the year 2024 and the year 2023, has always been an incredibly calm presence, an effective presence in a very turbulent time. And that does not go unnoticed. We feel safer, of course, but it's so much more than that. The way you do your job and the way you have done this work has created at least a little bit more comfort and safety for people to want to come into these chambers and to be able to participate in the sacred democratic process. And so I want to just say thank you, and I know my colleagues, some of them will speak as well, to say thank you for the way you have done your job, the way you model the public service, and the way you have handled some really difficult situations in this chamber. And congrats on your promotion. Councilmember Kaplan.
Thank you, Mayor. I think it's worth noting, I fully agree with the mayor because your presence is calm. But it also, when we look at when an officer gets awarded a Bronze Medal of Valor, that also should be their service to us. Because the mayor was right. You manifested a presence that in many tense situations could have been complete chaos, putting your life in danger, our life in danger, and citizens' life in danger here in this chamber. And that is not an easy feat, to be a calming force where it doesn't escalate. And that has been seen. And considering I say mostly closest to you, knowing that you have my back and the people's back who want to be here in this council chambers and do it safely has meant the world to me. So I just want to say thank you for just being you and serving this city the way it deserves to be served. It has not gone unnoticed, and this promotion will probably not be your last. So I look forward to your long tenure here, continuing to serve the citizens of Sacramento. Thank you for your service.
Thank you so much. Vice Mayor Maple?
Thank you, Mayor. I'm on a roll tonight, or this afternoon, so I'm going to keep rolling. I just want to say, first of all, congratulations on your promotion. It's well-deserved. But it's been really special working with you as I'm new in this role, 2 years into my position as a city council member, but 1 year in as vice mayor. And so learning how to run the meetings, learning how to do that in a very challenging time, as the mayor stated, there was more than once that we're sitting in the back hallways in our back room trying to figure out how do we manage such and such situation, and couldn't imagine of anyone else better to be there than you. It's been said by multiple colleagues that you bring a calmness. That's true. But the thing that I've noticed the most is you also bring a kindness. It's the little things that people don't even pay attention to, but I'm always looking around because I have ADD. And I always notice that if anyone is in need of help, whether it's a door opened, they have a question about how to submit a form, whatever it may be, you're always there. You don't view your job to be just the specific roles and responsibilities that might be in your job description. You view it to be of service, and that's really evident. And so whoever may come after has big shoes to fill, but thank you for leading with that kindness and leading with that care, because I think it sets a wonderful example in these tumultuous times that we're living in right now, especially as it relates to government and local government. Having role models of people that show what it means to be able to have discourse and disagree with one another, but also be civil and kind, is really important. So thank you so much.
Thank you so much. And Chief Lester, we also want to thank all the other men and women who are here on those long Tuesdays for your service as well. All right? We're calling out, and Lieutenant McPhail, but we want to thank you as well. Okay?
It's pretty comfortable up there.
It is. There he is. Okay. Take 2 minutes or as long as you would like. I said, or as long as you would like.
I won't need a full 2 minutes. On Thursday, I usually look at what the agenda has in store for me at the end of each week, and so I was a little surprised to see my name on there, so I wasn't quite sure what I was going. I didn't get a phone call about this, so I got to talk to somebody about that. But I think if I have anything I want to get across, I appreciate the recognition of the kindness element. It's, being kind is free, and treating people with respect is easy. And that goes a long way to getting people to do sometimes what you want them to do, but really what you need them to do. And the other thing I want to raise up is I've had a great team of people that I've worked with that made my job actually really, really easy. And it's not just my officers that have been here every Tuesday afternoon or Tuesday night. It's the clerk staff that have been here, city manager staff that work the media desk. It's a whole team of people that are each doing little roles that really make my job easy, because I can count on them to do all those little pieces. So I just get to sit in the corner and be eye candy. So.
I've heard a lot of people say that. Yeah.
Thank you. So, thank you.
Thank you, Lieutenant. One.
Yeah, you should go down there. Go down there. Go down there. It's an order. Go.
It's an order.
It's good. It's good.
I'm taking photos.
All right, I'm gonna take one. 1, 2, 3. One more. Okay, this feels like old times. Okay.
I'm happy to present more resolutions here today, by the way. But in 2 hours. Let's go to the consent calendar. We do have city business. Are there items that members would like taken up separately or to speak about separately? Yes, 21. Very good. Anybody else? We do have public testimony. Do we want to take a motion? Well, you want to wait till you comment on 21, or you?
I'll make a motion to approve consent calendar.
Okay, thank you. Moved and seconded. Now let's hear from the public. We'll hear from Councilmember Kaplan, and then we'll take a vote.
Mayor, I have 4 speakers on the consent calendar. First is Lambert on items 3, 9, and 12. Sin Yi Lee Ox on item 8. Sophia Kennan on item 8, and then Jeffrey Tardigui on item 21.
Yes, I wanted to speak on number 3 first. It talks about commission appointments. And right now, District 2 is on fire. I don't mean that literally, but they are in the news all over California right now. And the reason I came down is because there was not one person nominated for District 2 as a commissioner. All of these people on here, and maybe I have it wrong, but that's another example of excluding District 2. For those of you who aren't aware, Grant High School's football team won the championship the day after Thanksgiving, and they had to go on the road to win that. Then the CIF sent them to Stockton in the rain, and they went there. I should say we went there because I go to the games, and they won that game. Then they had to go last week to Google Country, Mountain View, and they won that game, which was Northern California. That's tremendously hard to do in 1 year. I mean, it's a three-peat. A lot of championships have been won under the watch of Mayor Steinberg. And I'm not saying he's the reason. I'm just saying it happened on his watch.
I don't think it's a coincidence.
Yeah. And he also came to the games. That meant a lot to the community, but we need to improve that. There's a lot of talented people in District 2, and somebody, maybe Roger Dickerson will do it, but there should be more commissioners from District 2. It's one of the most gerrymandered districts in California. It has over 20 communities. It should be somebody with talent in that
For
community.
your comments, our next speaker is Siu Yi Lee, and I'm probably not pronouncing it right. Please correct me.
Good afternoon. My name is Suyi Lee Alex. I am the director of Sacramento Valley Small Business Development Center. The Sacramento Valley SBDC is pleased to support the establishment of the City of Sacramento Small Business Assistance Center and appreciate the opportunity to be the city's CTAP provider. Sacramento Valley SBDC has been hosted by California Capital Financial Development Corporation since January of 2022. In the last 3 years, we have invested over 7,000 counseling hours to over 1,600 City of Sacramento-based small businesses. We help 50 entrepreneurs start their business, help create over 1,500 full-time and part-time jobs, and help secure over $28 million in loans for City of Sacramento-based small businesses. Our team of diverse 20 business advisors are also subject matter experts in starting and running businesses, many of whom are also bilingual in Spanish, Hindi, Hmong, Russian, and Dari. We're very excited about the opportunity to work with Mikkel as well as Denise to expand our capacity to serve the small business community in the PBIT corridors. Thank you.
Thank you for your comments, Sophia, and then Jeffrey.
Thank you. Good afternoon, council members. My name is Sophia Canan, and I am the director for the Women's Business Center at California Capital Financial Development Corporation. And for nearly a decade, I have had the privilege of serving entrepreneurs here in the city of Sacramento, as well as the surrounding areas. I'm here in favor of the execution of the CTAP agreement with California Capital because we would like to continue our effort to support entrepreneurs in this region. And we truly believe that supporting this agreement is an investment in the city's small business ecosystem and in its future. I urge you to vote in favor of this motion to continue supporting services for entrepreneurs by way of training, counseling. We do a lot of work with folks here by helping them grow their dreams, start their dreams. As of recently, our Women's Business Center has been one of the leading women's business centers in California to provide ongoing childcare training services to folks here in the city of Sacramento, because we really want to fill those childcare deserts, not only to provide entrepreneurs with additional ways of becoming entrepreneurs, but also to help other folks allow them to re-enter the workforce. And so with your support, we really hope to continue to do this work, and thank you very much.
Thank you for your comments. Mr. Tardigia, would you prefer a handheld microphone?
Whatever works that you can hear me.
Up to you.
I'm here as an advocate, not only for regional transit, not only for public transportation, but the two things I want to remind you on here is communication, what the city talks to RT, and where you have not put in the bus stops red markings so that on the weekends people park there. I just put that out there in the context of this initiative right here, and make sure that planning and the rest of code enforcement likewise work together with RT in doing this comment. That's my comment for now, and we'll get you at the end of not for comments off the agenda.
Thank you, Jeffrey.
Thank you for your comments. Mayor, I have no more speakers on the consent calendar.
All right, Councilmember Kaplan, item 21.
Thank you, Mayor, and thank you, Jeffrey, for this, because this is something that does need to be called out, and really thank our Public Works Department. This has been a change in state law that now we will be able to ticket those who are parking where our buses can't get in safely, then stay on the roadway, and it's going to be a camera on the front part of vehicles, so it's going to ticket them automatically, but it is also going to ticket people who are in our bike lanes and parking in our bike lanes, which, you know, this is a proactive step that I really appreciate. If you have not met with our Public Works Division, please meet with Ironman and his team. I am really appreciative of all the steps they are taking, because they are taking the safety of our citizens who bike and walk who are disabled seriously, and have a plan, as well as plan for curb management. Because now that we know we have more DoorDash and Uber Eats, how do we plan for that so that they are not blocking our bike lanes and our bus lanes? And Jeffrey, what I will say is, if you notice where there needs to be red striping, take a picture and send it in. You're more than welcome just to send them into my office, wherever they are, and I will make sure Public Works gets that. But you can also send it into 311. I know that's something that Public Works and their department is on top of and wants to make safe. But I'm really appreciative of this coming forward, and the forward thinking from our Public Works Department, what they're doing. So thank you, Mayor.
Thank you very much, Councilmember Kaplan. All right, we do have a motion and a second on the consent calendar. All in favor, please say aye. Aye. Aye, oppose, abstain. That passes unanimously. We do have two public hearings. One is item 22.
And Mayor, just to let the record reflect, 2 more hours until your future former mayor.
2 more hours. Is there an hourglass somewhere? With sand? I know that to be true.
It is the fountain of youth.
I cannot wait. Sorry for the interruption.
No, you're all good.
Welcome.
Thank you. Good afternoon, Mayor and Council. I'm Jamie Mosler, Associate Planner in the Community Development Department, and I'll be providing today's presentation on Title 17 Omnibus Ordinances. As an overview of this presentation, I'll first define what omnibus means. I'll then describe the categories of amendments and provide an overview, and then I'll outline which review steps are necessary. So what does omnibus mean? Essentially, it is a proposed law that covers a variety of topics, and these ordinances do that within three main categories. First being state law consistency. These amendments ensure that our local code is consistent with new state laws. Second category is streamlining. We often notice things that aren't working quite the way that we'd like, and these amendments allow us to refine existing regulations without establishing a new policy. And then the last category is administrative cleanup, these are primarily just correcting typos. Before going into an overview, I did want to highlight attachment 2 of the staff report, which does provide a more detailed explanation of each of the amendments that I'll talk about today. So the first category is state law consistency. With accessory dwelling units, Senate Bill 477 was passed earlier this year, and it reorganized state law for ADUs, but didn't make any policy changes. So these amendments just make sure that our references are correct. For charging stations, it's been a statewide requirement since 2016 to administratively approve EV charging stations, and Senate Bill 1291 additionally requires that for hydrogen fueling stations. So the amendment clarifies that both of these are exempt from our discretionary site plan and design review process. For housing, there's a couple of bills here. So AB 1490 allows 100% affordable adaptive reuse projects by right. Senate Bill 4 creates a new pathway for housing on land owned by higher education and religious institutions. So the ordinance includes amendments to clarify how we would process both of those locally. And then for density bonus, there are a number of changes to this law every year, and so the new ordinance chapter would create a section that really references state law and is more resilient to those changes in state law. Second category is streamlining. There's 4 amendments here. So the first issue we notice is that for odd-shaped lots per our code, if we need to determine the setbacks of those when it's not obvious, it requires a full site plan and design review application, even if no other application would otherwise be required. And so we're proposing to authorize the zoning administrator to make that determination when an application isn't required, and really want to remove a burdensome cost for basic regulatory information. Second one deals with accessory structures. So our code has some confusing standards for trellises, pergolas, and swimming pools, and there also aren't any defined standards for arbors when the public has questions about them. So our proposed amendment is to clarify the difference between trellises and pergolas, simplify wording for swimming pools, and define arbors with standards. Really want to increase the accuracy of information that we're providing to the public. Next deals with site plan and design review. So once someone has an approved application, if they want to make any changes to it, per our code, they're required to submit an entire new application, which could be really large fees for a minor change. So we're proposing to create a minor and major modification process, which is what we do for conditional use permits. Really want to have a consistent approach with our entitlements and reduce unnecessary costs for minor changes while still ensuring that they're reviewed. Next, with tentative maps. So the Subdivision Review Committee reviews tentative maps before the zoning administrator for conformance with standards and provides conditions of approval. If the map is nearing its expiration and they need to request more time, per our code, they're still required to go to the Subdivision Review Committee, even though no changes are proposed to the map. So we're proposing to remove the requirement for time extensions to go to the Subdivision Review Committee. Really want to remove an extra step in our entitlement process. Last category is administrative cleanup. So I won't walk you through every single typo that we corrected, but I did want to highlight the Ascot Avenue and labor-intensive overlays. So Title 17 was comprehensively updated in 2013, and as part of the update, these overlays were removed and the standards associated with them. However, the title still remains in our code and they still show up on our zoning map. And so we're proposing to remove the title text from those and rezone the parcels just to remove that overlay language that hasn't had any standards associated with it in over 10 years. And we really want to maintain a code free from errors and consistent with prior city council actions. In terms of review steps, these ordinances were presented to the Planning and Design Commission in October, along with the Law and Legislation Committee in November, both making motions forwarding it to the City Council today. So our recommendation is to conduct a public hearing and upon conclusion, move staff's recommendation. That concludes my presentation. Staff is available for any questions. Thank you.
Mayor, I have no public comments on this item.
Very good. Highly technical
Yeah.
and really important. Councilmember Kaplan.
Mayor, I'd like to open this public hearing on the various changes in the omnibus bill to Title 17, what actually streamlines housing and brings more of it in. And if there are no comments, make a motion to close and approve.
We're for that. Moved and seconded. All in favor, please say aye. Aye. Oppose, abstain. That passes. Thank you very much for your good work. Appreciate it. Item 23, the last item of the day. Presenting on this too.
Yep, me again.
Okay. Go.
Wait for the presentation to queue up. But hello again, Jamie Mosler, Associate Planner in the Community Development Department. There was a presentation for this one. Okay, perfect. I'll also be giving a presentation on an ordinance for Housing Element Program H15, which is titled Permitting Requirements for Special Needs Housing. As an overview of this presentation, I'll first provide some background on where this work originates in the housing element. We'll then provide an overview of the 5 housing types this ordinance affects and outline the review steps for this as well. So as some background, state law requires every city and county in California to adopt a housing element as part of its general plan. Our current housing element was adopted by City Council in 2021, and this document sets forth policies and programs to address housing needs in Sacramento. This, including Program H15, which directs the city to ensure compliance with state law and encourage special needs housing through actions pertaining to the 5 housing types listed on the slide, and we'll go through each of those one by one. So starting with low barrier navigation centers, this is defined in state law as a housing first, low barrier, service enriched shelter that's focused on moving people into permanent housing and provides temporary living facilities while case managers connect individuals to services. Low barriers defined by the state to being best practices to reduce barriers to entry, such as allowing pets, storage of possessions, and presence of partners if it's not a population-specific site. So a couple years ago, a bill was passed that required all cities and counties to allow these centers by right in mixed-use zones and non-residential zones that permit multi-unit dwellings. So the direction from the program was to amend the zoning code to allow these centers where required by state law. So what the ordinance does is currently these centers aren't addressed in Title 17, so it adds them, defines the land use, and allows them by right in those zones where state law requires. We'll also be creating an application form specific to these to provide more information. Second housing type are temporary residential shelters. These provide short-term temporary housing to individuals for free or substantially below cost. Services may be provided such as those listed on the slide, and it's also known as an emergency shelter in state law. These might sound similar to low barrier navigation centers, but services may be more minimal at these versus at a low barrier navigation center. So there's 3 points of direction for H15 for this. So it's to revise the zoning code to do 3 things. First, to ensure that our requirements comply with state law. Second was to establish a higher threshold for the number of beds allowed by right. And lastly, to ensure the zones where those shelters are allowed by right provide enough capacity and are in appropriate locations. So the ordinance implements all 3 of these directions by first revising standards to comply with state law. State law sets parameters for the type of standards that cities can apply to these, and we removed any standards that conflicted. Second, currently shelters with up to 24 beds are allowed by right, and the ordinance proposes to increase that to 100 individuals, which is consistent with Sacramento County's zoning ordinance. And then lastly, there is a detailed analysis on the staff report, but we did look at those zones where shelters are allowed by right and made sure that there is enough that could provide the capacity required by state law. And lastly, the ordinance also proposes to, for the shelters that aren't in those 4 zones that do require a conditional use permit, to lower the level of review down from the Planning and Design Commission to the zoning administrator level. CUPs were identified in the housing element as a potential constraint for larger shelters, and this would reduce time and costs for applications while still allowing for a public hearing process. The next housing type are SROs, or single room occupancy. This is a land use with 6 or more rooms or guest rooms. You can think of it like a dormitory where there's smaller private rooms and a shared kitchen or bathroom. They're also known as a residential hotel in our local zoning. So the direction from the program was to update the zoning code to allow these by right in commercial and multi-unit dwelling zones. So the ordinance implements this direction by changing the review level from a planning and design commission level permit to an administrative permit at the staff level in commercial and multi-unit dwelling zones. We also revise the standards to clarify and make sure they reflect how SROs operate today. Next housing type is supportive housing. This is defined in state law as housing with no limit on the length of stay that is linked to on-site or off-site services and occupied by the target population, which is defined on the slide. And state law requires local jurisdictions to treat this the same as a dwelling, meaning if supportive housing is occurring in an apartment building, for zoning purposes, it should be treated the same as any apartment building. So a bill was passed a few years ago that requires all cities to allow 100% affordable projects with supportive housing units by right, where multi-unit and mixed-use development are permitted. And so Program H15 directs the city to develop a processing procedure to comply with this. So the ordinance implements this direction by adding a new chapter to our zoning code for processing these applications, and we'll also be creating a new application form specific to this as well. The last housing type are group homes. So there's not an official definition for group homes, but there are several land uses in Title 17 that could fall within this category listed on the slide. That essentially the primary activity is individuals living together that are not biologically related. Services may be provided at the home, and they share kitchen and bathroom facilities. So the direction from the program was to review and amend the zoning code as necessary to ensure that requirements for group homes of 7 or more persons are consistent with state law and fair housing requirements. So expanding on that, many of the group home uses that were listed on the slide, if more than 6 individuals are living there, they require a conditional use permit. This is allowed by state law if state licensed services are being provided. However, if housing falls within supportive housing or transitional housing, we have to treat those the same way as a dwelling. So the ordinance implements this direction by revising the definition of residential care facilities, which do require a CUP to specify that they're state licensed. And then we're also revising several of those group home land uses to clarify the protections for supportive and transitional housing. Additionally, in the future, we want to continue looking into group homes, and there's so many different terms for very similar things, and really, as part of work to bring Title 17 into consistency with our new general plan, evaluate creating a new land use classification of dwelling that replaces all of these different ones to align with our policy goals for a broader array of housing types, including group homes. In terms of review steps, this ordinance was also presented to the Planning and Design Commission in October, the Law and Legislation Committee in November, both forwarding a motion to bring it to City Council today. And our recommendation is to conduct a public hearing, and upon conclusion, move staff recommendation. That concludes my presentation, and staff is available for any questions. Thank you.
Excellent job, Ms. Mosler. And then we have Councilmember Kaplan.
Thank you, Vice Mayor. Of course. Oh, do we have a
Do we
public
have any
comment?
public comment on this, Madam City Clerk?
Jeffrey Tardaguia.
You know, Mayor leaves for 1 second, it all goes away. Sorry about that, Mr. Tardaguia. Good to see you, Jeffrey.
My comments are related to before the mayor was here is how low-cost housing for developers literally got eliminated. So it's amazing. And so I ended up having to go to a state meeting to encourage what would be funding for low housing for these things. And I realized it's taken this long for the city of Sacramento to realize what is helpful and needed for accessibility, and also for the affordable housing. So thank you for this, even though it's the last one that the mayor gets to make on comment, but I hope he comes back for not on the agenda.
I think he certainly will be back. Thank you so much. Councilmember Kaplan.
Again, thank you, Vice Mayor. And while the mayor did walk out, we can hear what's going on in the back. So I'm sure he is listening, of which I also want to say thank you to our mayor, because omnibus bills, and Ms. Mosler, like, these are tedious, detailed, where we have to have compliance, changes in state law, of which requires going through all of our codes to make sure that there is consistency. It is not easy work, but these little changes could result, as we pass the most progressive, like housing element and general plan, this helps us accomplish that. So these are all the little pieces, and I know our mayor has a direct link to, at the state level, who might have said, these are some of the things we need changing to make housing easier in Sacramento. And those conversations really matter when we at the local level can tell our state leaders, we can't do everything you want us to do because there's no ability or state law prevents us from doing that. So the omnibus bills are actually pretty amazing. At the state level, they could be hundreds of pages. I know how long it takes to do them, so thank you. It's not easy work. I will open and close the hearing and move the item.
And we have a motion and a second. Mr. Mayor.
I do. Thank you so much, Madam Vice Mayor. I do have one actual question that kind of caught my attention as the presentation was being made. I think you said that this applies to households, the group homes, for example, where there are non-biological relatives. And so it makes me wonder whether or not families, for example, I don't know how you define biological, with adopted children or other you know, the family units now are, in a beautiful way, are taking different forms in all kinds of ways. So I'm just wondering, we never want to inadvertently, because I know it'd be unintentional, but like require a special permit for families that are different to be able to live. So what was that term biological? Kind of bothered me a little bit.
Maybe to put Kevin Collin, the zoning administrator, to put some context to that comment in the staff report, that the regulatory changes we're proposing, we think we're going in the opposite direction, that the zoning that we're starting with has certain assumptions built into it, such as single-family zoning. You think of that concept, you know, a family unit. There are special categories that Ms. Moser pointed out for group homes that don't fit into that category. We have folks who are related or not related cohabitating, and so we're proposing changes today that make that clear, that where it's required by state law, we're making it allowed in our local code, and that we're going to do some further work and we look at implementing the general plan with future code changes.
So there would be nothing that would discriminate, so to speak, against people who are part of families that are considered different in any way?
Not in any way. Yeah, we're very aware of the fair housing requirements of state law and in our housing element.
Okay, thank you.
And a great questions and comments, because I know I heard an impassioned speech from our mayor just last night about the rights of all people in the city, the civil rights of people, and so I think that's a really important line of questioning. And so what I'm going to do is I'm going to speak briefly and then give the seat back to you where you belong, and just want to say, yeah. Do you want to go first? Okay. I just wanted to say that what an appropriate last item for a very last speaking discussion item for our mayor, because this is an area where you've done a lot of work over many years, both first time on the city council, then once you were in the legislature, and now back in the last 8 years in advancing, you know, opportunities for people who are living unsheltered on our streets and in other precarious situations to become housed and stay housed in Sacramento. And so thank you for all your work in making sure that we stay compliant with the state laws as it continues to change and shift. Thank you. And I'll pass it over to Councilor Guerra.
Thank you very much, Vice Mayor. And also, again, just to recognize the great work that our staff have done and the leadership of our mayor and council here. And that's why our, our planning department has been nationally recognized. And I want to make sure we don't forget that we've been nationally recognized. And also that compared to our comparable cities, that we've produced more housing, different types of housing at all different levels and income levels because of that policy work. And with that, I was very proud to second this motion moving forward. Thank you.
Very good. Thank you. Thank you for the important work. All right. We have a motion and a second. All in favor, please say aye. Aye. Opposed, abstained. That passes. And that concludes the agenda for this afternoon. We do have public testimony on items not on the agenda and council member comments, questions and comments. Yes, please.
I have two speakers. First is Lambert, then Jeffrey Tartagia.
Jeffrey? Oh, Lambert first, okay.
Go ahead.
Okay, Mayor, I'm glad that you returned. It's going to sound almost like a love fest for you.
It's okay.
This is the San Francisco Chronicle talking about the Grant Pacers winning in Google country. They actually went by Google. I was there with them. It was wonderful to see because they weren't born when Google was created. That's how young they are. And this is the San Francisco Chronicle. This is a wonderful article. They won on a last-second field goal. So a lot of you talk about winning, but in order to win, you got to win under pressure. And that's what they've done. They played this Friday in Orange County. Now, here they are with the best record, and they have to go on the road. They should have played here. Also, I wrote this out, and I know it's going to be in trusted hands if I give it to Minty Cuppy. And this is also for the mayor. This is what I think they should get, and there's enough time for me to read some of this. This is a three-peat this year. They should get summer jobs, okay? It means more to them to have summer jobs than taking photo ops. They also should have banquets. There's many cultures on this team. Different nationalities, Chinese food, Samoan, Hawaiian, Hispanic, Mexican. I mean, it's just a talented team of youngsters, and they should be rewarded. Also, December 1st, To the Band Back Cheesecakes was featured at the Sacramento Convention Center. What was that? That was called the Bridal and Wedding Expo, and we went viral there. And that covers Sacramento and Northeast. I wish you well, Mayor.
Thank you for your comments. Jeffrey?
Well, Mayor, I remember when your first meeting of City Council took place here. And when I discussed Pitt, you seemed to have the deer in the eyes look. I believe you know what Pitt stands for now and how important that has been to the homeless. And will respectfully say to you is I hope at next count we get a more accurate count than because of the Leonardo DiCaprio film last January that I know areas that just got totally lost. The other thing I want to talk about is for the whole council is there is a real need for a speakers bureau. So you have leaders of various cultures, nationalities come up and you know how to get a hold of them to talk directly to the various communities that are within Sacramento. Big need and something that you've not addressed and looked at as of yet, something for next year. Other thing I will say to the mayor is, and I will say to Howard, is please, hopefully you will move the agenda so that public comment is not the last item on the agenda. I think RT does a better job of making it after consent and putting it in there so you get a flavor and you know, because by this time on some meetings, you are ready to leave and you have not listened to what's been said. That's my public comment to you as maybe the last comment, but congratulations on whatever you're going to do next, Mayor.
Thank you, Jeffrey. Thank you very much. Thank you for your activism and advocacy. All right, let's hear council ideas and questions. Councilmember Kaplan.
Thank you, Mayor. Just want to do an AB 1234. I attended Cal Cities last week where we discussed setting the for the league's policies for the next year, as well as the state budget and where and the federal budget of where cities might be impacted by some federal changes. There's some good stuff in there. And then just last week for night 3 and 4 of Santa in Natomas and Robla this Thursday and Friday, and Sunday is a winter wonderland with free ice skating as well as get your picture with Santa. And I just really want to thank our police department, our fire department, and Intercom Public Safety who come out and make each night joyous for our Santa in Natomas. And Mayor, thank you.
Thank you so much, Councilmember Kaplan. Vice Mayor Maple?
Thank you, Mayor. I have a very special announcement, which is that our very own District Director, Michael Benjamin II, has won his election to serve on the Sacramento City Unified School Board of Education, Board of Directors. I think I said that right. Yes, congratulations to him. So he will be having his swearing in on December 19th. At 5 p.m. That will be at the Sacramento City Unified School District Board Chambers. If you need information on that, I can send it to you. I'll put it on our website. Please do come celebrate and join and cheer him on. He's a true advocate for the community, born and raised in Oak Park, has been him and his parents and his parents' parents, generations from that community, and have done a lot to not only uplift the neighborhood, but especially young people. He is an educator in the Sacramento City Unified Schools District, including teaching the Men's Leadership Academy at Luther Burbank High School. And so just couldn't be more proud. I'm beaming from the inside out. So congratulations to Michael, and hope to see you there. Thank you.
The voters made a wise choice. Thank you. That's great. Councilmember Vang.
Thanks, Mayor. I thought we were going to do an announcement at 5, but since everyone's doing it, I'll go ahead and make my announcement. Just wanted to take this time to let folks know that Meadowview Lights is happening this Thursday at the Pinnell Community Center from 6 to 8 o'clock. There'll be goodies, a lot of amazing activities for the kiddos, so come out to that. And then this past Sunday was our 6-month anniversary for the Meadowview Certified Farmers Market. Really just want to thank Alchemist and the community and our Meadowview Farmers Market Advisory Committee for all the great work that they've done. We're going to put a pause on that and then reopen in the spring as well, given the season. So really just want to take this time to thank all of the residents serving on our Meadowview Farmers Market Committee. And then lastly, Mayor, this is your last meeting, and I just wanted to say thank you so much for your leadership. You will be missed. I have your cell phone on speed dial. But really just thank you so much for your leadership and the legacy that you have left as mayor of this city, and we're going to miss you. And so really just want to say thank you.
You too. Thank you. Thank you so much. That is very kind. We have Mayor Pro Tem Talamantes.
Thanks, Mayor. Future former mayor. I have to keep saying that.
I love that.
Sorry.
I'm the one who made that up.
Yeah, it's stuck. I also have Santa and Natomas for 3 nights in a row. Going to be spreading holiday joy, stopping by all our parks, our schools, keeping the tradition alive that our senator started many years ago. And we finally broke ground on our Taco Plaza. We took the cement out of the corner of Northgate, and we're on our way to having our first phase of phase 1 of our Taco Plaza to be done. And I just want to thank the Hispanic Chamber and Economic Development and everybody from city staff for helping me through this. And so I'm really excited to eventually have my first taco festival event in Northgate. So
Wonderful.
It's going to be yummy.
Yeah, it's going to be yummy, too. Councilmember Jennings.
Thank you, Mayor. Just want to let everyone know about the Greenhaven Soccer Club. Councilmember Rick Jennings in District 7 and Assemblymember Stephanie Nguyen having a drive-through holiday toy drive benefiting a nonprofit organization entitled Outside the Walls, where they will take new and unwrapped toys for ages 1 through 13. You can drive through the school and drop off your gifts without ever getting out of your car. We're going to be doing it rain or shine. It's going to take place at the School of Engineering and Science from 2 to 4 p.m. on the 14th, Saturday the 14th. So come on out and bring a toy, and let's take toys and holiday joy to all those who maybe will not have a Christmas holiday without our help. So would encourage you to do so. Thank you.
So much good work going on in this city, in all of its districts, among the staff, among the members, among the community. And I'm told before we adjourn that Doug and Efren have a picture that they wanted to show up on the screen. So, that apparently was an old tradition. An old tradition when a council member first got sworn in, their first meeting, that they were asked to wear that beanie. And so inexperienced as I was, I said yes to that. And Mindy, at the very end here, Efren and Doug, thank you so much, found this picture. And so I guess before adjourning, I will just say, well, first of all, at 5 o'clock tonight, I will gavel in the meeting. And then I will turn it over to Vice Mayor Maple. I will sit in maybe the 7th row. And I will have the honor of presenting a gavel to the new mayor. And I look forward to tonight. But this has been an incredible journey. And as I said last week, and I've said many times over the last couple of weeks, nothing but love and gratitude for all of you, for the city team, for the community, for the voters, and for the city of Sacramento. Its best days, Sacramento's best days are ahead. Thank you. We are adjourned. No way. I threw that thing out. Bring the staff.